Channel defense by the Sparks fans. 6 on the shot clock. Clark, a deep three.
Oop, that is.
She missed her first 7.
Hey basketball fans, welcome back to the channel. If you're as obsessed with the WNBA as I am, you're probably still reeling from the bombshell news that's got everyone talking. Caitlin Clark, the Indiana Fever superstar, has reportedly been traded to the New York Liberty. And let me tell you, Indiana Fever head coach Stephanie White is not taking this lightly. Rumor has it she went absolutely nuts when she heard the news. And today, we're diving deep into what this trade means, why Stephanie White is so fired up, and how this shakeup could change the WNBA landscape forever. So grab your snacks, hit that subscribe button, and let's break it all down. First off, let's set the stage. Caitlin Clark, the former Iowa Hawkeye phenom, has been the face of the Indiana Fever since being drafted as the number.
Clark has space. She's going to let it fly, and she's going to connect.
Oh, Caitlin Clark.
She waited.
First overall pick in 2024. She's a generational talent, averaging 19.2 points, 5.7 rebounds, and a league-leading 8.4 assists per game in her rookie season. Her ability to dominate on the court, draw massive crowds, and single-handedly elevate the Fever's profile has made her the WNBA's golden child. But despite her stellar play, the 2025 season has been a roller coaster for Clark and the Fever. Injuries, including a quad strain and a groin injury, have sidelined her for 11 of the team's 23 games so far, and the Fever are sitting at a middling 12-11 record. Still, Clark's impact is undeniable, and the idea of her leaving Indianapolis has sent shockwaves through the basketball world. Now, let's talk about the trade rumor itself. While there's no official confirmation from the WNBA or either team as of July 19, 2025, the buzz started after a viral photo surfaced of Clark hanging out with New York Liberty stars Breanna Stewart, Sabrina Ionescu, and coach Sandy Brondello after a recent Fever Liberty game. Fans on X went wild, speculating that Clark might be eyeing a move to the Big Apple. One post even claimed CC heel turn going to NY will be cinema, while another suggested this is more love than Stephanie White has ever given Caitlin. Ouch. The rumor mill kicked into high gear when a YouTube video titled Stephanie White Panics and Pleads as New York Liberty might recruit Caitlin Clark after groin injury racked up thousands of views, fueling the narrative that a blockbuster trade could be in the works. So why would Stephanie White go nuts over this? Let's get into her perspective. White, who took over as Fever head coach in 2024 after a successful stint with the Connecticut Sun, has built her game plan around Clark's unique skill set. She's been vocal about Clark's importance, calling her a focal point for the team and the entire city of Indianapolis. In a recent interview with The Athletic, White said, "Caitlin Clark isn't just an all-star player. She's the most famous women's basketball player in America." That's high praise, and it shows how much White values Clark's role in the Fever's identity. Losing her would be like ripping the heart out of the team's offense, not to mention the fan base. Imagine this. You're Stephanie White. You've spent months crafting plays to maximize Clark's playmaking and scoring. You've dealt with her injuries, and you finally got her back in the lineup, only to hear whispers that she's headed to the defending WNBA champions, the New York Liberty. You'd probably lose it too. Sources close to the team say White was livid when she heard the rumors, reportedly storming into the Fever's front office to demand answers. One insider claimed she was shouting, "We can't let this happen. She's our franchise." Now, we don't have video evidence of White going full-on meltdown mode, but the passion she's shown in press conferences, like when she called out egregious officiating after a close loss to the Liberty, suggests she's not one to hold back when she's fired up. Let's break down why this trade rumor makes sense for the Liberty. New York is already a powerhouse, with stars like Stewart and Ionescu leading the charge to a perfect 10-0 start before their first loss to the Fever on June 14, 2025. Adding Clark to that roster would create a super team for the ages. Picture Clark's pinpoint passing feeding Stewart's mid-range game or setting up Ionescu for open threes. The Liberty's fast-paced, high IQ style under coach Sandy Brondello would be a perfect fit for Clark, who thrives in a system that lets her control the tempo. Plus, New York's a bigger market than Indianapolis, and Clark's star power could elevate the WNBA's visibility even further. From a business perspective, it's a slam dunk for the Liberty. But what about the Fever? Losing Clark would be a gut punch. The team's already struggled with consistency this season, partly due to Clark's injuries, and partly because their defense ranks near the bottom of the league. White has been working to improve that, emphasizing in a recent ESPN interview that the Fever need to move from 11th or 12th defensively to the middle of the pack. Without Clark's offensive firepower, that task becomes even harder. Players like Kelsey Mitchell and Aaliyah Boston would have to step up big time, but neither has Clark's ability to draw double teams and create open looks for teammates. The Fever's front office would likely demand a hefty return in any trade. Think multiple draft picks, a star player like Jonquel Jones, or both, but it's hard to imagine any package truly replacing Clark's impact. Now, let's talk about the fans. Fever fans are not happy about this rumor. Social media is flooded with reactions ranging from heartbreak to outright anger. One fan on X wrote, "Stephanie White really has Clark setting double screens instead of running the offense. No wonder she wants out." Another said, "If Caitlin goes to NY, I'm done with the Fever." The backlash stems from a perception that White hasn't always maximized Clark's talents. For example, in a controversial move against the Golden State Valkyries on July 10th, White started Clark off the ball alongside Ari McDonald, a decision that drew mixed reviews. Fans argued it limited Clark's ability to control the game, leading to an 80-61 loss. Could this tension have pushed Clark to consider a move? It's possible, though Clark herself has stayed quiet, only saying, "I'm focused on getting healthy and playing," when asked about her future. Speaking of Clark's health, her injuries have been a major storyline this season. She missed 5 games with a quad strain in May and June, then re-injured her groin in a July 15th win over Connecticut, forcing her to sit out the All-Star game and three-point contest. White's been cautious with Clark's minutes, limiting her to 31 against the Liberty on June 14th to avoid setbacks. But some fans think White's load management strategy is too conservative, potentially frustrating Clark. If she feels she's not being utilized properly or is at risk of further injury due to the Fever's grueling schedule, a move to a deeper team like the Liberty might be appealing. Let's not forget the Liberty side of the story. Coach Sandy Brondello has been glowing about Clark, especially after Clark traded for her to coach Team Clark in the 2025 All-Star Game. Brondello called it awesome and said, "I get to coach with Sabrina and Caitlin in Indianapolis. What a great show." The chemistry between Clark and the Liberty Stars was evident in that viral photo, where Brondello had her hand on Clark's shoulder, all smiles. Could this be a sign of things to come? Liberty fans are certainly hoping so, with one tweeting, "NY, here we come." But Sports Illustrated's Grant Young poured cold water on the speculation, writing, "This was merely a photo of peers showing respect." Still, in the WNBA, where trades can happen fast, you never know. So, what's the fallout if this trade actually happens? For the Fever, it's a rebuild. White would have to retool the offense around Mitchell and Boston, possibly leaning on younger players like Lexi Hull or new acquisitions from the trade. The fan base would take a hit, as Clark's presence has driven record attendance and TV ratings. For the Liberty, it's championship or bust. A core of Clark, Stewart, and Ionescu could dominate for years, but it'd also put pressure on Brondello to manage egos and minutes. And for the WNBA as a whole, this could be a defining moment, amplifying the league's growing popularity, but also sparking debates about super teams and competitive balance. Now, let's address the elephant in the room. Is this trade even real? Right now, it's all speculation driven by social media and a few cryptic comments. The Fever and Liberty haven't made any official statements, and Clark's focus seems to be on recovery, not relocation. Plus, White's reaction might be overblown. Her going nuts could just be her fierce loyalty to her star player. But in the world of sports, where there's smoke, there's often fire. If the Fever continue to struggle and Clark's injuries persist, the pressure to make a move could grow. So, what do you think? Is Caitlin Clark headed to the New York Liberty, or is this just another wild rumor? Should Stephanie White be worried, or is she right to fight for her star? Drop your thoughts in the comments and let's get this debate going. If you enjoyed this deep dive, smash that like button, subscribe, and hit the bell so you don't miss our next video. We'll keep you posted on any updates to this story, so stay tuned. Until then, keep ballin', and I'll see you in the next one.